it Rhode Island? Come down.
May be seated. Why don't we get started? Have you introduce yourselves and your teacher.
I'm Nolan. I'm Alex and this is our teacher, Mrs. O'Brien.
We'll introduce ourselves and then we'll read the question.
Good afternoon. My name is Emanuel Caldillo. I'm Special Advisor with the White House Initiative on Educational Excellence for Hispanics. And I live here in Washington, D.C.
I'm Roger DeRozier. I'm the state coordinator for the We the People program in Massachusetts. And I'm a former We the People teacher for 19 years. And I'm delighted to see the entire state of Rhode Island. To see, what you guys can do.
Babies next to each other's too. My name is Louis Baer. I am a lawyer, an environmental lawyer here in the D.C. area. I'm also an alumnus of the program from the state of Oregon. And so today we'll be doing question 3. What is the relationship, if any, between the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, natural rights philosophy, and the Declaration of Independence? How would you differentiate the concepts of equal protection, equal opportunity, and equal outcome? Do all laws that create classification violate the Equal Protection Clause? Why or why not? Maybe yes.
Many different ideas and beliefs have influenced the Constitution of the United States. These different ideas were put in practice when the Founding Fathers wrote the Constitution during the Constitutional Convention in 1787. Some of these ideas have already been emphasized in the Declaration of Independence read 11 years before. The philosophy that was mainly used in this document was naturalist philosophy by John Locke. He believed that people were born with, quote, unalienable rights to life, liberty, and property, end quote. Another important concept valued by Locke was equality. He believed that all people were born free, equal, and independent. This idea that all men were created equal was one of the nation's founding principles. However, it was not until 1868 and ratification of the 14th Amendment that the idea that individuals should enjoy equal protection of the laws was enumerated. However, true equality means equality.
The idea of equality that Locke emphasized had tremendous influence on Thomas Jefferson in writing the Declaration of Independence. Similar to Locke, Jefferson emphasized that all men were created equal. This early idea of equality reinforced the colonial expectations that rights were natural and did not come from the government. Passage of the 14th Amendment finally enumerated the idea of equal protection of the laws into the Constitution, a right that has been valued since the 1600s. This was added in the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. It enumerated that, quote, no state shall be denied to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of laws. This was the first time that there was an amendment that strictly prohibited states.
Since the addition of the 14th Amendment, the court has heard many cases on the meaning of equal protection. As a result, the court has decided to use the idea of levels of scrutiny. The lowest level of scrutiny is the rational basis test, and it generally relates to wealth and age. However, if the law involves gender, then the state must show that the law or policy being tested furthers important governmental interests. The highest level of scrutiny, strict scrutiny, is when the law is automatically considered unconstitutional unless there is compelling state interest. This was decided in the court case Dillon v. Virginia, where an interracial couple was denied marriage based on state law. The court struck down this law, and the idea of strict scrutiny for racial classifications has been used ever since. These levels acknowledge that it is constitutional for people to be treated differently. This is shown in the controversial issue of affirmative action, in which the desire to achieve diversity allows race to become a factor in college admittance and employment. As in the California v. Bach, the use of race as a criteria in admission decisions in higher education is constitutionally permissible.
The 14th Amendment's equal protection of the law ensures that the government should treat all people equally. This was not truly realized until Brown v. Board of Education emphatically declared, quote, separately equal facilities were inherently unequal, end quote. In America today, day-share segregation is unconstitutional, but many poverty-stricken communities have large amounts of minority population. Therefore, eliminating segregation ensures equality for the law and ensures that each race and gender have same rights available.
natural rights philosophy in the 14th Amendment all protect an important American idea, equality. Although everyone might not agree on its definition, Justice Harlan's dissent in Plessy v. Ferguson is important to remember. Quote, "Our Constitution is colorblind and neither knows nor tolerates classes among citizens." End quote. Some may say that America today has realized this, while others conclude that it is still a controversial and unsolved issue.
Okay, I'll put it up. In regards to affirmative action, some people argue that affirmative action is reverse discrimination. Do you agree or disagree, and why?
I can see why people would call this reverse discrimination, but I believe it actually helps further people's outcomes as the quality outcome emphasizes results. I believe that this should be used because it allows for people that were denied access to certain things, such as minorities before, are able to now get a better education, for example.
However, in the United States, equality of outcome is not favored. Equality of opportunity is favored. And in the 14th Amendment, this provides equality for all people when used at the state level. And I believe that affirmative action is unconstitutional because of the 14th Amendment.
Affirmative action is most commonly used for educational facilities to become more diverse, to have more groups into their facilities. In this sense, I don't believe it's reverse discrimination because it's helping everyone to be part of something.
How would you distinguish between strict scrutiny and immediate scrutiny?
The differences between strict scrutiny and immediate scrutiny is based on the law. Strict scrutiny regards laws that are based on race, and the state must prove a compelling state interest to have this law be constitutional. Immediate scrutiny is a law that is involved with gender, and the state has to have a compelling interest to make it constitutional.
In a court case, Loving v. Virginia, it was determined that the Virginia law, this law, interracial marriages was unconstitutional because Virginia had no compelling state interest. It's also the first case in strict scrutiny.
You mentioned in your presentation about the separate people doctrine. What was that doctrine, and why did the Supreme Court find that it violated the equal protection clause?
In 1896, the court case Plessy v. Ferguson came up, and in the majority opinion, it was written that separate but equal is constitutional, and this continued. The states use it. The South uses it as a loophole to. It was basically de jure segregation throughout the country until 1960 with the Brown v. Board of Education, which declared that separate but equal is inherently unequal.
I think what my colleague meant to say was 1954 with Brown v. Board of Education. However, in Topeka, the education system that was separate was not declared constitutional. In fact, in all education systems, this court case declared segregation to be never equal at all. This opened the gate to abolishing the entire institution of segregation, which led to things like the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s.
Plessy v. Ferguson also was important because it stated that separate but equal was fine as long as it didn't oppress a specific race or a specific group of people. It also states that it's meant to be what people want it to be. It's based on public opinion.
Also, going off of what my colleague said, the court case Plessy v. Ferguson was about segregation on the Louisiana state law, and a man was 1/8 African American, and he was denied going onto a certain train car. Now this, in the Supreme Court's eyes, was not oppression. However, it also continues the traditions of the people, which in this case, traditions being segregation, the people being white suffrage.
And do you think the Brown decision was effective in eliminating segregation in schools?
I believe that this Brown decision was very effective. In fact, I believe it was one of the court cases that kick-started the civil rights movement, which would eventually end with the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, which didn't ban, but it got rid of de jure segregation.
The Civil Rights Act 1964. It didn't just help African Americans, it helped women as well, and women were able, later on in the 20th century, were able to gain voting rights.
I do believe that Brown Board of Education was the kickstart of desegregation. However, I don't believe that it was that effective because it only took place after Eisenhower had sent down the troops for Little Rock 9. Because people didn't just obey this law, it had to be enforced.
I disagree with my colleague. This was one of the most important civil rights cases, not only just because of what the case was, but also the NAACP was involved. Their lawyer was hired by the NAACP, which is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. And this strengthened the NAACP throughout the 1950s, the 60s, even in the early 70s with not colored people, but women. So African Americans and Hispanic people were not only the minorities, but women also.
Brown Board of Education also paved the way for the ruling in Hardin Plantation Hotel in the U.S., which stated that segregation in public facilities is never constitutional.
Tough topic. You're not just dealing with philosophy, you're also dealing on history and application to today. You're trying to add everything up in orbit and try to see which type of questions you get from us. You held it really well on your own with great confidence in your presentation, so I commend you on that. You provided a lot of good detail, especially very on regards to just the different types of equal opportunity, equal outcomes, and equal protection. Enjoyed, as well as taking your case on the affirmative action. So overall, a good presentation.
I thought your presentation was on target. It hit all of the essential aspects that we were looking for you to examine and to discuss. Very nice flow, nice reasoning that you did as you went through the explanation. I think I was particularly pleased to see the wealth of knowledge that you had vis-a-vis each of the different areas that we discussed. You didn't have what is called a glossing of information. You gave depth to that information. You provided us with the indication that you knew what you were talking about. You weren't just throwing out loving. You weren't just throwing out Civil Rights Act of 1964. You gave depth to your answers, indicating the degree of understanding that you brought to this particular subject. Overall, I can only tell you how thrilled and pleased I am to listen to the voices of our future and feel so wonderful about its possibilities. So I wish every high school student could have this opportunity. Exceptional job. Very good.
I really enjoyed your presentation, your depth of knowledge. Because you covered a lot of different topics in detail, from affirmative action to segregation to loving to talking about poverty and that kind of thing. So I liked the discussion on all those issues. The only thing I'd probably mention about your answer regarding segregation in the aftermath of Brown is that there was a lot of Southern obstruction to the Brown decision, and the Supreme Court didn't have the ability to enforce it. And really, it took another Supreme Court decision, Cooper v. Aaron, to reinforce what Brown had said, and then the coming in of the National Guard to forcibly integrate into schools. then the 1964 Civil Rights Act that said at the time that no states can receive money for if it continues to segregate. So, I encourage you to look into these topics further. But again, you definitely showed your knowledge